Hey folks, this is Mark at RC Crawling Adventures Northwest. In my car, as usual, charging my crawling battery, and as usual, getting ready to do some crawling. We're having some real nice mild weather up here in Seattle. Really great crawling weather. So I'm going to do some of that here. But in the meantime, while the battery's charging, I'm going to do my next video installment of my scratch build vintage style camper shell for my Axial SCX10II 55 Ford F100 pickup truck. Alright, I believe this is going to be video 3, but the title will say for sure. Alright, so first of all, my first working tool is this coffee. Not necessarily this brand of coffee, but coffee. Must have coffee. Okay, so I got that covered. Got the coffee going. Okay, the second thing is, I thought I'd just show something that I'm using for this build, which is very helpful. I got some clamps here. Now I got these, which are very, very small. See, there's my my thumb, and there's the clamps, very, very small. Okay, then the next larger up from that is this one. So you've got those two. Okay, and I've got 4 each of the sizes that I just show you, and these are the sizes that I figure I'll be using about 95% of the time with my hobby building. But you also get a larger size, and then an even larger size still, right? So really nice clamp set, very strong. Now these big ones, these larger ones are strong enough that you're going to crush balsa, so you're not going to use it for balsa projects like I'm doing here. But these here, these smaller ones, there we go. These smaller ones, pretty gentle. That's pretty firm right there. So I'm going to use that for hardier wood. Like these strips here that I use for reinforcement and trim, those are basswood as opposed to balsa, so I can clamp with this. And then the smaller one also has even less clamping pressure, but plenty, just about right. I've used these before, so I got the clamps. This is the clamp set. I got it at my Ace Hardware. It's $12 for 22. Yeah, $12 for this at Ace Hardware for a 22-piece clamp set in 4 different sizes. All right, so I thought I'd share that with you. Okay, what else? Okay, let's move these clamps out of the way for right now. To the side here. So in this particular video, I just thought I'd, share what I'm doing to build this, if anybody's interested in that. As you can see, I've got a fair amount of it well along. I've got I've got my side windows cut here. As you can see, I've got my side windows cut here. No glass installed yet. I have the trim here. Got the window trim there. Yeah, and silver paint to simulate an aluminum window frame. Got a little bit of silver trim here. The top is reinforced with these strips of basswood, which also gives it a good look, I think, scale look. Okay, I've got the front window cut and trim painted, but no glass installed yet. And I use plastic from packaging. To make my windows from. Yeah, I'll show you that in a second, actually. And then I got the back here. The back, this is the rear, and this is where my my fold-up rear hatch will be. Right there, fold-up rear hatch will be there. And I was going to use hinges. We'll just pick this up like this. Yeah, so it's going to fold up like this, like that. Let's do a side view here. Side view. Yeah, so this little bad boy here is going to go. It's going to fold up like that, and I'll have it set up so I can prop it up. But that's how that's going to be, right? So I'm gonna hinge this today. I couldn't find any metal hinges small enough, so I'm going to use Velcro to hinge this, and I'm going to show that just for fun. If somebody, I'm not a very experienced scratch build guy, so if somebody like me, not very experienced, wants to watch this video, they might pick up a tip here or two, or something. They might pick up something here or two from this video that I learned just, as I go. that maybe they can use too. All right, so there's that. Okay, so here's the next. So that's what I've done. And okay, so the next thing to do is, in addition to hinging this, which we'll do last, on the other side here, you can see there's no windows. We've got the windows, we've got the two side windows here, but we do not have the two side windows here. However, as you can see, we do have the windows cut. You can see there where I've used a pen to not only draw where the new windows are going to be cut, but also to score, to deeply score with the pen those areas to get that started. And what I did is I made a drawing on a piece of paper of the window size and shape that I wanted. There we go. I drew on a piece of paper the size and shape of the window that I wanted. Okay, after I drew that on the piece of paper, I laid the piece of paper down on a piece of balsa, like this. Okay, and then I laid the paper template that I had made on top of the balsa, and I traced the outline of the size and shape that I wanted, that I drew on the paper, and onto the balsa, and then I cut that that line, that template. You know, I made a line on the wide balsa, made a line on the wide balsa with the pen, just drew it on there. Excuse me. I made a template on paper with a pen and paper. Then I laid the paper down on top of the balsa and traced my line drawing of the window outline that I had made, which left a little bit of scoring on the balsa. Then I used these little knives to cut to cut this out right here. And then I sanded the edges and rounded the corners slightly, and that's what I did. So I made a pattern, and I marked, you know, that this was the inside, you know, in order to orient the window just right, and so it would be symmetrical just right. I was just telling myself that we want to have it be face up, and this needs to be inside the truck, so they would be going over here. So that means that so that's what we're going to use again today. We're going to use the same template that I made out of balsa wood, starting with a drawing. We're going to use the same template that I used to make these two windows to make the ones on the other side, so they'll be identical. So we'll turn this around here like this. All right, so there's that. Okay, so now, so that's how I made the point of this. this is how I made these drawings. You know, this is how I made these. This is my cutting line here, and I was able to make the cutting line by making this stencil and putting it up on the side of the truck, camper, tracing around it with my pen, This is after it's already painted. Tracing around with my pen, and now we're going to go ahead and use these little knives to very carefully and gently and gradually cut these out, sand them, paint them. So let's just start that right now. So I'll open this little guy. These cost, I've been using these little knives. They have the breakaway blade. Here's a larger one. The X-Acto knife set, when you buy the set and you buy spare blades, it's kind of expensive. So for those knives, there are, this is $4.50. Not exactly dirt cheap, $4.50. But you get the blades only extend this far, right? So you don't get that many blades, but it's a pretty good knife. I'm having good luck with it. So there we go. That's that. All right. So the next thing for me to do is I'm going to put the camera on pause, and then we're going to get a closer up shot of this, and I'll start to I'll open this up, and I'll have this open rather, and we'll start to work on this. All right. Here it comes. I'll be right back. All right, folks, back again. So I've unwrapped my little $4.50 knife. I'm going to go ahead and extend the blade. Let's see, we'll start with that. And then I'll lock the blade by using this deal here, as you know. Okay, so that's fine. Actually, I'm going to give myself a little bit more blade. Yeah, that's good. All right, so what I'm going to do on this, let me pause again and grab my, actually I can just reach over and grab my extra powerful glasses here. All right, extra powerful glasses. take a hit off of my my coffee here. Alright, so now, alright, so I got the extra powerful glasses on, I got the knife. So what we're going to do on this is just, and again, a lot of you guys, you know, you're well beyond, your skills and experience are well beyond what I'm doing here. But for people that are relatively new, that's what this video is for. So I've like I said, I've scored this pretty well by pressing down really hard with the pin. Okay, and also I can see the line pretty good. So now, what I'm going to do is just start very gently, not even cutting yet, just scoring, meaning just deepening this little rut that I've made. So, and I'm going to stay away from the corners for now and just do the straight parts. So we're going to start right here. Let's see, we might do a better angle or something like this. That's not too bad. Yeah, I think that's a good angle. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so we'll steady this here. Let's see. That's how about that? Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna, let's see, we'll do the bottom one first. So we're just gonna come in here real careful, make sure I'm centered on the line. And as I'm pushing in, I'm also moving forward gently. I'm not trying to cut it. I'm gonna change this up. I'm not trying to cut it, I'm just trying to cut into it. I gotta stay right on that line. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm just barely nicking into it. Right there. So I'm going to put the camera on pause and we'll look at it when I've scored it all the way around. Alright folks, so I've scored here on this line where I've deepened the original, you know, sort of little groove in there. And I actually cut maybe about 2/3 of the way into the balsa at that time. Now I'm making a second pass where I'm actually cutting all the way through, very carefully, but not doing the corners yet, so I'm just going to do that right now. So I'm going to very carefully follow along here with what I've already cut. I'm just deepening, and I've changed to a new blade too. I changed to a new blade to do this deeper cut, which will cut all the way through. I got to go slow and easy, very careful, very careful. New blade. Okay, now I get to the corner, I'm going to go ahead and back off. Whoop, like that. Come down here and do the same thing on the bottom. Let me adjust this camera slightly. There we go. So do the same thing on the bottom. Find my groove that I've previously cut and just go deeper with it. Okay, there's my groove. There we go. Alright, now we're all the way in, and we're very carefully following what we've done previously, and what we've done previously makes it so we can accurately cut what we're doing right now up to the corner. Right. Okay, we'll stop there. Now, of course, I'm going with the grain, which is a lot easier to cut than against the grain. So I'm going to go ahead and just, it's going to take a little time. So I'm going to go ahead and put the camera on pause, and I'll come back in momentarily. Alright folks, after very patiently and very carefully, first just kind of scoring and making a depression in the windows here, then cutting part way through. I've now cut all the way through, and I've very carefully worked on the corners with the very tip of the blade here, to do the corners bit by bit. So now this should be ready to pop out. So let's find out. And I want to do it carefully, of course, because if it's not cut all the way, you could tear off some of the wood, and then it mars the look on the outside, and you can't fix that. So first we'll see if it's going to loosen. It's acting like it's going to loosen and come off. Let's see. Alright, we'll get it started here. Let's see, so need a little bit more cutting? I don't think so. Just work it. Just work it. Work it. Work it. Work it. Looser. There we go. There we go. From underneath, that's what we'll do from underneath. Okay, it's getting ready to come out. See? Can you see that? Better angle. There we go. See that? Okay, there we go. It's coming. It's coming. Alright, very carefully now. Last bit. Now I'm going to look at, since she's a little bit reluctant here, that's the last bit. Instead of just pulling it off and screwing things up, possibly I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit more cutting right here. Yeah, it just needs a little bit more work here, I think. There we go. You just had to get that corner off. Alright, so there's our handy dandy blade. There's our hunk of window that we cut out. And now we got windows on both sides. Alright. See? Got the rear one done. Rear one is done. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause. Remove the front, I'm going to put the camera on pause. And go ahead and cut the rear left side. Can I start over again? I'm going to put the camera on pause. I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting and remove the left front window here. And then all the windows will be cut and we'll go from there. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright folks, Mark back here again. Alright, you can see this baby's ready to come out. Just go ahead and very carefully pop it out from the inside primarily. Alright, swing that out. Alright! Another window cut. So now, as you can see, we got the windows on both sides. Alright. Now, this side doesn't have any decorative trim on it yet. We're going to do that. But anyway, there you go. So, the other side's about to look like this side. So now we got all the way around. Okay, so next thing to do is grab some of this here. Now I'm using this sandpaper here, which is, what grit is it? It is that the grit by any chance? 1842? I don't know, let's find out. Let's see. Yeah, apparently the grit on this is 18.42, apparently. Now I've got one here that's kind of rolled up like this, you see that? And that's for sanding the corners. And then I got one that's flat like this, and that's for sanding these surfaces here. So, yeah, so if you look at it really close, you can see a high spot right here. Let me get my pointer pen. Here's the pointer pen. Now, if you look right here, you can see I got a little bit of a high spot there. See, so I'm going to go to both these windows and sand them and get the high spots out. I'm going to start off by getting the high spots off of the level portions like here. And I'm excuse me, I'm going to do myself a favor. I'm going to do myself a favor by I'm wrapping my sandpaper around this piece of scrap balsa, basically, to make it flat, to make sure that when I'm sanding in that the balsa wood is staying flat. So let's go ahead and sand here. So I've got to gotta watch what I'm. Let's see. Yeah. So I want to start off with this high spot here, which is right there, right there. All right. So let's see. Actually, I'll still just set it down. Okay. So we're gonna start with that. And yeah. Alright, now put this on here. Now I don't want to go too far. I'm gonna just go up to the corners, but I don't want to get too much into it. And this piece of balsa is gonna help me stop where I need to stop. So here we go. Let's do it like this. Okay. Nice video. Okay, here we go. So start with this high spot here. Let's see if we can show the high spot more. Nah, sorry. There you go. That should be good. And of course, all of it needs to be smooth somewhat. So we'll do that. We're just doing we're not doing the corners yet, as I said before. Alright. Okay, we've lost our high spot. Okay, the high spot's gone. Now I can see from my pen line here that it's just a little bit high here. So we're going to fix that. Fix that. Try to get it all nice and even. Nice and even. Oh, there we go. Nice and even. Hope we're getting focused on that. So you can see I'm coming up to the corners, but I'm not really doing too much on them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sand it all the way around and be right back. Alright folks, so I have finished sanding these here, the new windows that I cut. And I also went around with the spray can, and some of it went into here, which is fine. I went around the perimeter of the windows with the spray can to make sure that everything was all nice and painted around the windows, which is still wet right now. But yeah, so we got our corners rounded with a little piece of sandpaper as I showed, and the window sills, if you will, smoothed out. It's kind of hard to see the window sills, but yeah, we got the window sills smoothed out. And once this here paint dries, and that's the front of the camper shell, by the way, once again. So once the paint dries here, and particularly on the window sills, then I'm going to go ahead and apply the window trim, which you can see here in silver. There you go. You can see there you go. You can see it in silver right here, window trim. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Let's spin this back around again. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Yep, put the window trim in there. And we're going to use this. If we can get focus and all that kind of stuff. Let's see. Let's move the truck camper back. Hello? Anybody going to focus? Alright, well, I'm just going to tell you what it is since we're not going to be able to get a focus on this pen. It is the Testors Enamel Paint Marker. This happens to be a silver. The color number is 2546. This, I think, was about $5, this pen. And you shake it up like this. Shake it up. And then that puts paint on this little tip, as you can see. Puts paint on the tip, and we're going to run along those sills. So I'm going to put the camera on pause for a second and wait for this green paint in here to dry, and then we'll go ahead and apply the window sill trim. Be right back. Alright folks, while I'm waiting for the window sills to dry of the green paint overspray, while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to go ahead and go to work on hinging and installing the rear hatch. So there's the rear hatch there. Put the camera on pause one more time, and I'll be right back. Alright folks, back again. So this is the paint I'm using, by the way. Krylon Shortcuts Hunter Green. Yep, it's safe for wood, metal, even RC airplane foam, balsa, etc. So I'm putting this off to the side. Where's the lid for it? I don't know. Alright, that's back there. Alright, put that in there. Alright folks, so see, let me move this back a little bit like that, and move this forward a little bit. So here we've got our rear door, right? Rear door with handle and glass, which fits there. So since I couldn't find metal hinges that were tiny enough for this, I got a little paint drying on each side there. Since I couldn't find metal hinges that were tiny enough for this, I'm just going to go ahead and use Velcro. Very simple. Going to use Velcro hook and loop. Alright, so there we go. Now before I do this, I'm going to go ahead and paint this green. So I'll be right back. Alright folks, so what I've done here is I have right here I've installed the right dead center screen. I've installed a little platform where the Velcro is going to sit for part of the hinge. Yeah, so we'll set that back down, and then there's the door. So I'm going to actually let that lay down like that. I'm going to go ahead and hinge the door, the rear hatch door, if you will, with this piece of Velcro that I've painted somewhat black, somewhat. So let's put this back here, move that back there, set the camera back down. There we go. So, see, I've got this Velcro loop, which I've painted slightly green, but mostly not. Mostly it didn't come out green, but that's all right. It's going to be on the top inside of the camper, so that's cool. All right, so I've peeled off the adhesive. I peeled off the backing to reveal the adhesive strip there. And so the first step of this operation is going to be to fix this to to the. So here's my back. Whoa! Here's my back door. Okay, so this is the top of it. So I'm going to go ahead and affix this hinge, what's going to serve as a hinge, right here. There we go. So we're going to fix this on here, just center it and so on, about like that. Alright, now, so I've got my Velcro on there. I'm going to press it down real good from one side to the other. Okay. Now this is the Velcro I'm using, Scotch. It works really good. The adhesive is, from my experience, is waterproof or at least highly water resistant and stuff. And this is about half the price of most Velcro, particularly the Velcro brand. Alright, so there's that over there. So yeah, we'll finish sticking this onto our door. Like that. Okay, so that's stuck on the door. Here's our hinge. Now, come back over here and see if we can lean this camper shell up against something. Let's see how we can do this. That won't work. Alright, here we go. We'll just do this. Actually, I'll just pick up the, I'll just pick up the camera. Pick up the camera. Okay, so there's that there. Now I can see, okay, here's the next thing. I can see I'm going to need to trim some of this Velcro off that's on here. Because when I get this flush, it's going to extend beyond my little platform. So I got to trim that off a little bit. We'll do that right now. Get my trusty scissors. Alright, so we're going to trim that down. Move that over there. Alright, I'm going to trim this Velcro down to about like let's trim off just a little bit. About like that. Alright, we good. Now it's hard to cut because it's got the adhesive on it. Okay. Alright folks, we've cut off a little strip of that. And that gives us that. Okay, that gives us that. Alright, now it's pretty warm. It's not warm or hot, but it's pretty kind of warm right now in the RC Adventures Northwest Mobile. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take the clamps off of my little deal here. Let's see, we'll set this down there. We'll take the clamps off of this little, I made that little platform there. So we'll take this clamp off. It's kind of premature to be taking the clamps off, but I think it'll be fine because it's kind of warm-ish in the car. Alright, so there's that. So now it's going to be a pretty simple matter of, see if we can bring this up against something. So let's try this. Is that going to stay there? Yes! Yes! Okay, good. That's what we want. Alright, so now it's going to be a pretty simple matter of, you know what, I'm going to want to install this so that I know it fits right. So let's change our view to something along the lines of this. Move it back a little bit. All this back. Back. Alright, move it back. Move it all back. All back. About like this. Yeah, that's pretty good. Good. Okay. Okay. So here's what I need to do is install the hatch and then affix the Velcro, I believe. So I have to do it in a certain way. Let's do it like this. Alright, so we're gonna go. Alright. There we go, folks. Just a minute, Jimmy, my dog, over to my left here. Alright, I'm gonna put this alright, here we go. Ready? So we're gonna stick this up under here like this and put it in place carefully. Alright. Let me Let me try again here, folks. Try again. Okay. That there like that. Okay. Let me set it down. Here we go. So here's the way to do this, I think. Okay. A little bit tricky, but we'll get it done. Alright, so okay, folks. So I've got the rear door attached now. Yeah. It's flush and it's even and all that good stuff. Now let's flip it over. Take a look, see what we got going on here with our hinge, because we've got to get our hinge installed just right. Can we see anything here? It's hard to see in there. Okay, here's what we can do. I think we can see it like that, pretty much. Yep, so I'm going to just come in here. I'm going to have to lay this down flat. You can see what you can see what I'm doing pretty fair. Alright, let's do this. Okay, what I'm going to do is just come in here with a tool, which is going to be a piece of balsa. I'm going to take this balsa and push down on this hinge. Let's put this down like this. Not like that. Camera. And see if we can get more light on the subject. Yeah? There we go. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and push it down and fix it up. I'm going to have to do it off camera. It's just too difficult to do it that way. Let's put this back in its place. Alright, here we go. So let's just go ahead and do this. We might be able to see it like that. Okay, so no, we'll just do it and then show it. We'll do it and then show it. Actually, you can see it through the window. You can see it through the window. Alright, here we go. So what I'm doing is pushing down on the Velcro before I stick it to the door itself, because I want to make sure the angle's right, that the fit of the door is right, and everything. Alright, so there's that. Okay, so push down on that, not out. I want to push out on it. Yep. Let's see. So there we go. So again, just push on this. There we go. Push on this one. Make sure it's stuck to my base here, and I've got a little green paint I'll need to put in here later when I clean up any loose ends that exist. So we'll go ahead and make sure this is stuck down really good to the base. Yep, that's what we're doing. All right. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Still in there. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to make sure it's stuck to the door itself, to the top of the door itself. Real good. Yep, like that. Yeah, we're making sure it's stuck on there real good. Not going to come off. No, I'm just a side note. I'm not going to use this canopy when I'm hardcore rock crawling. This is going to be for trailing. Yeah, for trailing. Doesn't mean the trailing won't get semi-hardcore sometimes. Okay, so that's the hinge finished. Which cannot be seen with spit, so we'll pick up the camera. There's the finished hinge. Alright, it's hard to see. So I'm going to put this back down here, and then we'll test it out and see how it works. Alright, so there's the rear of the canopy. Right there. A couple more things around. Yeah. Okay, there's right, so there's our canopy. This is the side we already had done. And then here's our rear hatch door that we're going to try out now. Okay, so there's the door. There's the door. Okay. And right now we're going to try it and see if the hinge works. Alright, you ready? Drum roll. Drum roll, please, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, hold on, Jimmy boy. Hold on, buddy. Just a minute, buddy. Just a minute, buddy. Hold on one second. Let me finish this video scene. Okay? Okay. Alright, let's go. Let's see if this thing will hinge open and like I want it to and think it will and all that sort of thing. One more little adjustment. Okay, ready? Here we go. Alright, here we go. Let's see if it'll work. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I made it too tight. It won't open. See that? It won't open. I was afraid of something like that. Put it on pause. Alright, folks, I've been having quite the time, quite the challenge trying to figure out how to make my hinge for the rear hatch out of Velcro, but I think I got her done. The glue's drying. So while we're doing that, I'm going to show you how I'm using the paint pen to do the inside of the windows here. Adjust the camera a little bit there. Alright, there we go. Shake it up real good. And also you push down. I'll show you here. Okay, here we go. So you shake it up real good, like I said, and then you take off the cap, not surprisingly. And get there. Okay, then you want to push down on it a few times to pump paint onto the tip. We got lots on there now. And then we're just going to run it along here like this. It's pretty straightforward. Let's see. Let me see if I can move the camera a little bit like this without it falling down. And load up that tip and then just start to just paint that silver right on there, trying not to go outside the edges. If you do go outside the edges onto the body, that can be sanded off. Yeah, so it's not a big deal. Alright, so there's that. And I'll pump some more paint on there. This video is just about over, folks. Just about. And then we'll come up the side like that. That. Alright. Yeah. So anyway, we'll do that all the way around on these windows, and then they're going to look the same as the windows on the other side. Yes, so yeah, so the only thing left to show is the tailgate hinge completed and operational, but I'll save that for the next video. The next video is going to be the last video on this scratch build scale vintage style camper shell with interior. Actually, it won't be the last video. The next video I'll be working on the interior, and to open that video where I start working on the interior, I'll show the hatch. Alright, thanks for watching. This is Mark at RC Crawling Adventures Northwest, signing off. Bye-bye.